Hey there guys, welcome to another Train Sim World 2 video. Today we're going to be running the Amtrak Regional number 190 from Providence up to Boston South Station. Effectively the end of the Northeast Corridor, the northernmost bit. I made it a little foggy to add a bit of extra challenge. I'm going to try to use fully ACSES and ATC. Now, I believe it has been acknowledged officially and unofficially that some of the signaling in the ACSES and ATC are a bit hammered in some places. Hopefully they're working on that. I remember that being an issue in Train Sim World 2020 as well. But anyway, we're going to try and get on with it. I'm going to try to use the rail driver as well. Sometimes it's kind of weird as far as the notching with brakes and throttle, so it may click and just act weird. Anyway, let's get on with it. Here we are today, sat at Providence Station. We'll go ahead and open the left side platform doors. Alright, let's get set up here. Go ahead and get the reverser handle in. Now it's a little bit different with stuff like this on Rail Driver because it's not simply neutral, forward, and reverse. So I'm going to use the keyboard for this. Put it in neutral. Let's see. Front headlights dim. Ditch lights to on, otherwise they'll just flash for an eternity. Brake mode test. We need to set that to passenger. There we go. Let's go ahead and open the window as well. Get a little extra sound. Alright, let's make sure we are gravy here. MCB is closed. We're going to leave the console light off. Let's get up and check the back wall. That's how you got to make sure that you've got everything on safety system wise. I don't think any of these breakers operate. Yeah, they don't do anything. So we need to make sure we put the brakes are cut in, by the way. The alerter on, ACSES on, ATC on. Marker lights, that's your tail lights. You want to leave those off. Head and power's on. I think we're good to go. We'll go ahead and open this door as well. Or, not door, window. Alright, and we should be golden. So let's lock the doors and get the heck out of Dodge. There we go. Hear the compressor building brake pressure back. Alright, we did not put it in the the recommended gear. Let's go forward. There we go. Now we can give her some juice. Start off with about 40, 50. We are limited to 30 mile an hour at the moment. Go ahead and kill the bell. Yeah, you see the throttle kind of jumping. That's Rail Driver. It's not precise for whatever reason. Hopefully that gets ironed out at some point. I've got to calibrate it. I calibrate it every other time I play this, and it's still no dice. Alright, we are going uphill. We'll kill the throttle a hair. We've been cleared up to 60, but we're still on a 30 mile an hour section, so we got to clear that 30 mile an hour section, and then we can go 60. We got 30 miles to Route 128. There we go, we're clear. Gonna come through the yard up here in a moment. Now, I think I noted this area in the other video I did. I think it's an interchange between Providence and Worcester and CSX. All right, we're clear for 70. Also, I'd like to note the fella that kind of created this route in its infancy, a guy named Brandon, also known as Cactus Juice in different forums and discords. He is pretty much apparently done with the catenary and overhead line overhaul. So hopefully we'll see that in the very, very near future. Let Dovetail get a hold of it, do whatever they got to do. Here's the yard. Still got a slight grade, 0.4% up. There's quite a bit of freight around this area. I really hope Dovetail are looking into layering in, you know, being able to operate some freight duties around here. I mean, the rolling stock is here. You see it everywhere. MBTA. Alright, we need to brake to 60. Did it get me? I think it got me. Did it? No, it didn't. Alright, so when you get popped like that, you gotta make sure you throw your auto brake handle into either handle off or suppression and then clear it. Otherwise it will stop you. Now also note that when you do that, that's almost the maximum braking efficiency. So it's going to start stopping quick. So I would recommend coming off the brake handle about a good 5 to 10 mile an hour before your target, just so you don't stop the train. Alright, we're back up to 70. Now 60. Albeit brief, 70. Now we're going downhill a bit. Give it a little bit of juice. Alright, we are cleared for 125 as soon as we get off the 60 section. See, the handle is moving, not even touching it. That's what happens with Train Sim World Rail Driver. There's 100. 100. Now, if I recall, there's an area up here where you go from max track speed to like 30, and there's no intermediate, there's no warning, and I think that is incorrect. All right, we got a 110. There you go. You want to react as soon as you can, or it'll spank you. The siding over here to the right. "22 miles to Route 128. I think it's also called University Park. All right, clear to 125 again. On the middle track. So this track over on the left, from where we're facing now, that's an MBTA track. I believe there's no overhead line over there. It's got some of the equipment, but I'm fairly certain you're never going to run on the Sprinter over on the far left there. It's either going to be this track or the track to the right. Or maybe it's that track. There's a station down here that MBTA serves, and it's right after the station where the track ends. Would need to use the horn or the bell because you're on the inside track, but what the hell. We go back to twin track. Next stop 18 miles. Signal was good. Now this is probably quintessentially and single-handedly one of the toughest stops you're going to have to make on this route in the Sprinter. Route 128, because you're at max speed and you've been going max speed for quite a while since Providence. I think the first time I ran this service, or one of these services anyway, I overshot it a little bit. So about 1.5 miles out, you wanna be ready. Come off the throttle a little bit. Still uphill. Right at about 125. High green. Some more spurs and sightings. $14 miles. Spread open again here. You can see a lot of the additional track is not alternating current overhead power. A lot of it's you know, freight, local freight, and the of course the MBTA diesel electrics. All right, just about 10 miles. Just got 2 massive tree branches in the cab of the locomotive. Catenary pole kind of blocked that signal back there a bit. Still green. Shouldn't be too terribly busy. This is a midday service, you know, mid-afternoon. It would start ramping up a little bit going forward, but shouldn't be too busy. What did I just say? It's mid-morning. I was doing another video and it was the mid-afternoon. Got jumbled. Still green. Got 8 miles. There it is. Alright, handle off. Let's clear it. Braking hard. There it is at a 45. Jesus, still had the power on. Massive fail. Alright, so that's what I'm talking about. It went all the way down to an approach medium. Just like that. Now we still got the brake handle off, so I'm hoping it's not going to backhand us here. This thing does take a minute to start braking when you're going that fast, so definitely got to prepare. There's the lovely floating signs, which should be fixed in that catenary patch. Down to a 30. Brake handle still in the handle off position. It's effectively one notch from emergency braking. Come on. There's 50. And there is a red. We need to brake like pronto. Right on the viaduct. How about that? So we are not clear beyond the signal that's up here. We're being held. It's telling us to stop. I mean, you should be able to roll depending where you're at. Kind of want to keep it moving a little bit. I want to stop all the way. Still got about 4 miles to Route 128. And there's the signal block just ahead there. Hopefully this isn't a bug of some sort. There we go. All right. We're still at an approach medium, 30 mph. MBTA there, going southbound. This would be Canton Junction right here. That's the branch line off to the right there. The Stoughton branch. Should clear this 30 in just a minute. hopefully. Just going to keep it dynamic. You want to use dynamic brakes to effectively slow the train. They're not meant to stop the train, but they can slow the train. It is a 0.8% downhill grade right here. We're not too far from Route 128 anyhow, so... a little bit more. There we go. Alright, I could look at the map and see if there's anything up there, but that wouldn't be very realistic, would it? And it's all about realism. Right? But I kind of want to look, because I know there are some issues. Alright, going to come off the dynamic brake. Grade's come off a bit. It's 0.3 now. Oh, hell. Let's look. Alright, what is crappin'? Now, we do have Route 128. Looks like there's a train up there. Ah, what do you know? There she is. Alright, hopefully our stop. This is actually kind of cool. I appreciate traffic like this. I was just double checking that it wasn't a bug. Thankfully, it was not. There we go. Alright, it's a 20 now. Restricted. Make sure we cleared that. So our stop at 128 should give that train ahead of us some time to get the hell out of the way. And it is, you know, it is slow going through here. But the whole point of this is to keep trains moving, you know, so they're not stopping and waiting at signals or aspects. So we're still moving. You know, it's just like if you're driving. You're in your car. There's nothing worse than being stopped at a light, right? I feel like, personally, as long as I'm still moving, you know, I'm getting somewhere. So I'll get off main roads and take back roads if I have to, just to keep moving. So it says we're due at 10:55, and, you know, American passenger trains, it ain't that far off. They're seldom on time. The Amtrak stuff, anyway. So I don't know if I was slow somewhere else or what, but yeah, we're a few minutes behind. So I'm hoping that it didn't throw a wrench in traffic or the signaling. 1 mile. I think the passengers can just kind of hop on at this rate without us having to stop. Okay, that's not good. Why is there a full stop here? Interesting. Alright, so we went from a little late to very late. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, there is a junction up here, so I don't know if something is like getting in front of us or what. Oh no, we already passed that, never mind. Hold on a minute, is this... Oh, good God, this isn't our signal. It's beyond the platform. But see, it also just went from completely restricted to just restricted at 20. Going by these double reds does not feel great. Yeah, the blowers coming on the traction motors back there. I gotta reiterate, the sounds are good with this route, you know, all things considered. They did a pretty good job with Peninsula Corridor, but you know, it's nice that they went with some third-party action instead of just trying to, you know, do what they've been doing with North American stuff, sadly. Alright, here's the station. Goodness gracious. Go ahead and let everybody know we're coming. Be there in about 3 minutes. Hop in that Burger King on the left over there. Get some Whoppers. No pickles, please, on mine. Alright, let's hope the aspect... Because the way some of the stuff works in Train Sim World is the aspect will remain red or restricted until the train gets to an instructed stop, you know, and opens and closes the doors, which is kind of maddening. But anyway, let's hope it corrects itself here. Alright, doors open. We're only almost 10 minutes late. Yay. Come on, shiny clothed people. Get on. We gots to go. It's so weird that they all have shiny clothes. A little bit longer stop. They typically will be longer than MBTA stuff. Commuter stuff is bam, bam, bam. Regional, you know, takes time a little bit. It's like a woman up there is having. Oh, hello, ma'am. Okay, yeah. There's a couple of people up there having a fight with that pole, and they're losing. About 20 seconds. And lock the doors. Alright, we're cleared for 125. Let's boogie. You know, that's funny because I've run this service a couple of times because I really enjoyed taking the Sprinter from Providence into Boston, and that's the first time I've had that happen. The other service I did was a bit earlier in the day though, so. Alright, next and second to last stop, Boston Back Bay, 10 miles. And then 1 mile beyond that is South Station. Max power! High green, looking dandy. See something up here. I think these are the two CSX Jeeps that sit up here. They just appear to be static, sadly. Here's one of the other junctions. MBTA trains will come and go across that bridge yonder. Alright, we are fairly late, so I'm going to need to try and keep the throttle on the ball here. Now, these have cruise control. Kind of like AFB with the German locomotives, but for whatever reason it wasn't added in here. It was in the Northeast Corridor on Train Sim World 2020. came in quite handy. All right, 6 miles to Back Bay. $115. I'm gonna go ahead and suppress it and release. It's gonna get slower and slower as we get into the outskirts of Beantown here. There it is again. Straight down to 30. That is insane. Yeah, there's something amiss there. Gotta be. Approach medium. Because yes, you know, drivers do memorize, you know, their route, but it's a built-in system, you know, speed control system, so I feel like something is definitely missing there. There's the metro line on the left there. And 45. All right, 1.5 miles. This is it's a station down here. Well, it's not here, but there's a station near here. That's like darkened. It's weird. This is not it. I thought it was it. But it's the station I'm talking about is like underground. It's in a tunnel, kind of. And it's kind of spooky. It's dark. There's no lights on, but the information displays are lit. They just have the time. Alright, down under the city. 1.2% downgrade here. Go ahead and kick the brakes on a hair. .9%, 0.3, and flat. Alright, we got a 30. .600 yards. Ah, another Amtrak there. This guy just walking to the end of the platform for no reason. Maybe he's a foamer. Alright, there we go. Let's crack him open. Alright, about 5 minutes behind. We made up a little bit. But honestly, I really don't care about timing and points when it comes to Train Sim World 2. I'm more into it for the experience. That may sound like an excuse, but I promise you it's not. Maybe. Be interesting to see how South Station is. It's almost noon. Almost that lunch rush. Kind of the beginning of the lunch rush. Right at 11. For those early lunch breakers. Alright, let's boogie down to Beantown. Approach medium limited to 30. It'll probably remain that way until we get to South Station. Got a 20 there. Hey! Alright, 15. Make it happen. Just keep in mind when you're clearing that and you have to throw the handle to off or suppression, you know, sometimes it'll grab instantaneously. So just make sure you don't leave the brake handle on till you get to that speed. You're going to want to release it couple of mile per hour before that speed, if you get me. That's a 10. Minimum map ought to do it. Now it is uphill into the station, 0.5% grade right there. And South Station is in sight. Not very busy. Early lunch. I mean, of course not. I think there's an MBTA sitting over there to the left. Yeah, there's two. Three. See how close we can get here. All or nothing. All the cards and all the chips are on the table. Now we've already passed the stop marker, for what it's worth. But see, it makes me nervous because I don't know if there's some weird spot on the ground where if you go past it you fail. I mean, there's the markers up there. But, anyway. Open the doors. And there we go. That's it, guys. Just a quick run in the Sprintahh from Providence to Boston. Just kind of a let's play, almost a tutorial if you're maybe having trouble with ATC, ACSES, or anything like that. You know, not that I'm very good at it or anything, but hopefully it's somewhat helpful. But, somebody getting all up in the camera. But that's it today, guys. I appreciate you watching. Keep an eye out. Gonna try to do a few more of these in the coming days and weeks, but that is it for now. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.